Hey guys, this is Aaron back in Free Comic Day 2015, and sir, would you introduce yourself to our crowd here?
My name is Chuck Mullins.
Chuck, I asked everybody here so far, how's this Free Comic Day treating you today?
It's treating me really well. It's a great day here at Cavalier Comics on Free Comic Day. It sure is.
Chuck, how'd you get into to drawing comics? What was your first inspiration to say, hey, I really want to do this?
Well, I've been drawing before I could read or do anything else. I've been drawing since I could pick up a pencil. And I would say the first time that I really realized that I could do something that other people couldn't do as far as drawing goes was in Head Start, kindergarten. I was in kindergarten and I was drawing a bulldozer. And next thing I knew, teachers and other kids, students were circling around me looking at it, and that's when I realized that not everybody could see things the way I see them. And from there on, it's just been a mission of mine, and I wouldn't change a thing, ever.
When did comics, and you said you started young, when did comics kind of come into your atmosphere as far as what you enjoy and kind of like, hey, that's pretty cool, I can draw like that? When did that kind of come into
I would say that I was, well, my mom would look at me, she thought I was crazy. I would work, I would mow lawns and cut grass and shovel snow, and I would make all this money and I would spend it on comic books, you know. And I'd say probably I was looking at comic books before I could read. Honestly, my brother would get like Captain Marvel, and I would flip through them, and the art was really good, and I could almost know what was going on because of the artist. And I still reflect on that today, going, you know, saying if I could draw that good, where someone could look at that story without reading it and know a little about what's going on, then I'm telling a good story with my art, you know, and that's something that stuck with me ever since then. But I would say that I was probably 4 or 5 years old when I first started looking into comics, you know, and then when I was old enough to work in any shape, fashion, or form to get money to get comics, that's what I did. And I would draw them, and friends up and down the street would get me, you know, commission me to draw, you know, a cover to Frank Miller's Wolverine issue #2. You know, I would do that, and so it's always been a lifelong passion for me. I love it. I think Free Comic Book Day should be a holiday.
I think it should be too.
If it was a weekday, nobody should work.
Right, exactly. I agree. You hear that, Congress? You hear that? Get something done. You don't do anything else, get that done. As far as what artists kind of inspires you, like what was the first one or some of the ones that you looked at, like, you know, I really want to kind of not mimic it, but kind of take some of what he does, and kind of make my own style out of that?
Okay, well, I would say,
I know that's a loaded question.
It is, but I tell you what, I could throw a lot of names out there, but I do want to say this for aspiring artists, and that is study the masters. Study the tricks that made Michelangelo great, because those tricks can help define you, and it will guide you right into your own style. But I liked, there are so many. I could go on. I'll throw this guy out here right now, and I love his work right now, and I'm sure you've heard of him and other people. Is Esad Ribic.
Yes.
I think he is, in my opinion, the best. He's the total package. He can do it all. He can do backgrounds. He can do perspective. He can do color theory. He can do anatomy. I mean, he's got it all down, and he's got it in his own style, and he's like the Frank Frazetta of our time.
Yeah, he's amazing. Go check out the Loki miniseries. I think was one of his stuff he did. Absolutely, just amazing, beautiful stuff.
He's doing the Secret Wars art.
He is. Yeah, I can't wait for that. So
I'm really excited to see that stuff. I mean, he inspires me so much that I'm working on a caricature of him. I'm doing a caricature. I'm going to put him in as dressed up as Thor, and I'm going to say I don't always draw Thor, but when I do, I draw him best.
Which is true. I mean, the guy's absolutely amazing. And I see that you are not only an artist but an inker and a colorer as well.
Yeah.
Talk about the kind of the nuances of learning how to first draw and then how to ink properly, and then kind of how to color and try to bring everything together to make an awesome piece of artwork.
Okay, well your pencils, your foundation. Think of your pencils as your foundation. Everything you're going to work on your pencils, and that's where I was talking about the anatomy and perspective, and your backgrounds and things like that. That's where you're going to be working on that proportions, and then your inking is going to be setting some of your light and shadow. You're going to be drawing that, and it's going to make your darks recede and your lights pop out at you. Okay, and then your colors is going to set everything. It's going to blend it all together, and it'll help you with your atmospheric perspective. And things in the background are a little bit lighter when they're further away, things like that. And that's it'll help set the eye in a pleasing area where you're just like, I love this page. You'll read the book and then you'll come back to it. That's really what. But your pencils, it all starts there. It's a foundation, like building a house. You start from the ground up. You don't jump to the color before you've got the anatomy down.
Right.
You can try to learn it all at once. Different parts of it, but. Having that foundation really, you can tell those artists are working on Marvel.
Right.
The ones that are,
talk about the artwork you have here. Obviously, the Minion thing is really cool. Some of the stuff. I'll show some pictures here when I splice it in. But he takes Minions and makes them Avengers and X-Men, and it's also a really cool kind of creative way to take those characters and make them different. Talk about where did that idea come from? Obviously, Despicable Me, but what was it? It was like, oh man, I think I could probably make some out of this.
I was playing around with the mashup ideas one day, and I love the Minions from Despicable Me. They're hilarious. You can't understand a word they're saying except for Bapple and Banana. That's about it. But they're hilarious. They'll drive you crazy, but they're so cute and fun. They look like a walking, talking Twinkie. They're hilarious. And then I was, I wanted to do something for. I think the first time I started working on them was when X-Men: Days of Future Past was coming out. And I was just thinking, I said, what would these characters look like? What if they were minions? How would they act? How would they behave? And I started sketching around on it, and I liked it so much. I had so much fun with it. I did the whole graphic novel cover as the Minion.
Chuck, what did it feel like when your Minion stuff started kind of taking off? Seeing it shared here and there. What did it make you? What kind of reaction?
I was very appreciative. I felt like people got seen what I seen and appreciated what I appreciated, and when it took off like that, I was really excited about it. I was very happy to see it happen. The reason I say is Marvel, do the movie. If DC can do a Lego movie, then Marvel can do a Minion movie.
Get Disney to buy them from DreamWorks. Come on, just buy DreamWorks. You can do it.
Yeah,
you bought Marvel and Star Wars. What else? Come on. If Marvel or DC called you today and said, hey, you get to pick a character and we'll put you on a book, what character would it be? Or Image or Dark Horse.
Any character? I would love to do, I could throw out a ton of them. I love the X-Men titles. I grew up on Spider-Man. I love Thor.
The Secret Wars. There you go, Marvel, right there. Secret
Wars. And DC characters, I've always been a Green Lantern fan. That's
big space epic.
And of course, Batman, Superman. I mean, anybody would be honored to do something like that. I'll be honest with you. I would like to have a revamp of Cyberforce.
Yeah,
I was a big Mark Silvestri fan, and I loved his stuff. I still love his stuff. He's still a great artist.
He's evolved. I mean, his stuff's got better, which is crazy. Yeah. His stuff was really good in the 90s anyway.
Yeah, you'd have to update it for now, but yeah, it was good stuff. He's a great guy, man. He's always putting out creative stuff.
I was a big fan of the Image 90s comics. I know that's like blasphemy sometimes to say that. I was a big Wildcats fan. That's the only run of comics I kept. 50 issues of the first volume of Wildcats.
Jim Lee's Wildcats.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Everybody's like, what's that? I was like, it's Wildcats. Well, it's not great, but it's awesome for me because I like it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell you what, the 90s was a great time for comics in a lot of ways. I mean, it was a rough time afterward, when the suits left and everything, but
Once again, appreciate it.
when Image stepped out like that,
Love you, brother.
it made everyone feel like it could be done.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys were really trailblazers. I know they get a lot of crap thrown on them a lot, but those guys stepped out and did something huge. They had all big contracts at Marvel and DC, and they kind of did their own thing.
And they keep it creator owned.
Yep.
They keep it creator owned. They've stayed respectful of that the whole time. You know, so.
Chuck, where can they find your stuff, man? Your website? Where can they?
You can look me. You can find me on Facebook at / Chuck's Art Box. You can find me at www.chucksartbox.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Chuck's Art Box. And look me up. We are with the new movie with the Avengers. I did a Minions. Earth's Mightiest Minions mashup with the Avengers, and we're doing a big contest through geekgirls.com, www.wegeekgirls.com, and you can look into that, and I'm giving away like $200 in prizes for the top 10 winners, so
very cool.
Check that out.
Chuck, I appreciate you taking time out, man.
You're welcome. Thank you.